Hi, I'm Eric, and have you ever wanted to look at a 20-year-old piece of media, but instead of watching a 2.5-hour film, you want to play a 5-hour game? Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, the game. The game came out May 5th, 2005, and just 9 days later, the movie it was based on released in theaters. I guess you could say the movie was an adaptation of the video game. This game released on the original Xbox, the PS2, the DS, and the Game Boy Advance. There are plans of a PSP port, but those fell through after the mixed reactions to the game. It got around a 61 on Metacritic. You're telling me a movie-based video game is bad? No, there are some bad Star Wars video games out there, but this is definitely not one of them. There's plenty of obvious differences in this game to the movie, in a way to make it feel more like a game. Obviously. Revenge of the Sith is a beat-em-up kind of game that has most areas cut into longish type levels to increase your playtime, or even having you go through places that weren't even in the movie. For example, when the heck does this dude appear in the movie? I rewatched the whole thing again, and he wasn't in there once. You take turns playing as both Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi in each level. The game features an experience system where each character throughout their respective levels can build up points by fighting enemies that the player can then later use to upgrade their skills and make their character stronger and better. As the player, you go through the normal story of the movie following the events that happen to a pretty good degree. You go from fighting in General Grievous's ship to fighting each other in the end. There are some cutscenes that are made in the in-game engine, but they also use around 12 minutes of film footage for cutscenes. It's like I'm really watching the movie, even if it is just a couple minutes. I kid you not, while I was getting my gameplay, I could not get through Count Dooku's fight. I tried at it for around 30 minutes to no avail. Maybe it's just I really suck at beat-em-up games, but I could not get past this dude. Like, I know he's a Sith Lord, but come on! Yes! With him out of the way, we can finally continue the game. There's this cool gun section I enjoyed, but now we finally get to meet Grievous.
This time you won't escape.
And he escapes. The game jumps all over the boring story stuff from the movie and puts you right back into the action. Now we're here to the end of the war as we know it. No sappy sap love story stuff. Action! The whole Utapau section is completely different from the movie, as it's more action-packed than the movie does, but it also makes it a lot cooler. The boss fights can be kind of annoying when they give you literally zero time to fight back. I just cannot stand these boss fights anymore. I gave up. During this fight, I set the difficulty to easy to see if it'd make these boss fights better, but it somehow made them even worse. But with a little bit of help, I was able to make my way through the rest of the game. The coolest part of this game was that it had an optional ending that was different from the movie. As we all know in the 2005 classic, Obi-Wan Kenobi defeats Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. Anakin then burns horrifically, and then Anakin fully becomes Vader. But in the game's alternate ending, Anakin kills Obi-Wan and then immediately strikes the Emperor down after receiving his red lightsaber. It makes the game just a little bit more unique than its movie counterpart. Overall, this is not a bad game, but I'm not the biggest fan of this style of game either, as it can get a bit repetitive and even annoying at sometimes. But I had my fun with it for the most part. I did stack it through to the end and I enjoyed most of the voice acting even though it was a little bit cheesy at some parts.
Well, can you open the door?
But I really did enjoy playing this game, and I'm happy I did. Well, that was a pretty cool game. It made me feel like I was actually in the movie. With that, I kind of want to play another Star Wars game right now. What the fuck did I just play?